Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? We rewrite the rules. The countdown has begun. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And this is live and local real talk. Officially, it's Friday Eve. You have our permission to spend 30 minutes of the first half hour of today's working hours firming up your plans for the weekend. In exchange for this, all we ask is that you share your plans with us this morning. If there's anything in violation of North Carolina General Statutes chapters 14, 18, or 20 involved, we encourage you not to be overly specific. Ladies, to help settle a discussion, a dispute, actually a rebuttal to my remarks about loaning or borrowing those sexy little skirts, I never mentioned pencil, or other articles of clothing or jewelry with your best friend or perhaps your sister, maybe your brother, if it's, one of those. How far would you go to be either accommodating or avoiding the situation? Our number is 910-333-0139. A very good Friday Eve it is, and I'm Rayford Brown, at least for the moment.
Oh my gosh, I had to turn you down. Good morning, I'm Lee Barris.
I'm excited. I love that opening. I'm Chris
That's
Marks.
Our new opening.
I loved
You
it.
like that one?
Yeah.
I thought I'd catch y'all by surprise.
That was awesome.
I thought it was.
Good.
I did a little modification on one that I found and stuff like that. But anyway,
Perfect.
The closest I'll ever get to the speech, getting on a speech.
I know, and you
It
say
felt good,
that,
didn't it?
and I have the SpaceX shuttle right here on. Where did it go?
it's gone.
That's a reason.
No, it's supposed to leave at 6:50. It's not even time yet.
What time zone?
Oh, no, the Eastern.
You're sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay.
6:29 at 6:52, but it's not even up yet.
They're probably not.
6:29 at 6:52.
6:29 the date. At 6:52 is when they were going to
Today is
turn the
not
feed on.
6:29.
Today's not the
Today's 5:28.
Well, let me just X right out of that.
Okay. Into the future.
I kept looking at the calendar and I said, it says 29.
Not only that's tomorrow, but it's May 29th, not 6:29.
Tomorrow's payday times 2.
Oh, for God's sakes.
2 pays.
Well, anyway.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Yeah. Just give us a call. I'd like to know what your plans are for the weekend. I'm sure you've got them. If not, you're finalizing them. I want to know what you're doing. And I've settled my dispute. Ladies, is Lee the only one that doesn't loan her clothes out except to her granddaughter?
I will loan clothes out, but not
not your
my nice, cute,
Sexy little skirts.
if I still had them.
Oh, because you loaned them out?
No, because I quit wearing those.
Oh. Well, did you give them to the Salvation Army or something?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I took 12 bags of clothes last week.
Robbie did 3 or 4 bags this week.
And I told my sister, if we go thrift store shopping, I'm not buying any
The
clothes.
stuff that comes back, you don't buy the same stuff again, do you?
No, I
You
won't
ever
go.
accidentally given something away and then gone back and bought it?
No, because I stay away from it because I don't want to go in. I stay away. I know I'm a freak. If they take 12 bags of clothes, if I take clothes into a thrift store, like Goodwill or
Yeah,
Salvation
yeah.
Army, somebody, or Onslow Victim Center, I don't go in there for several months because I don't want to go in there and see what was mine hanging on the rack.
Would it make you feel bad?
Yeah, it makes me feel bad because I'm like, why did I give that away? So I don't go until they're all gone. It's stupid, but I like to go into thrift stores to look for unusual things.
The yard sale? You ever done the yard sale?
Yes, I'm not good at them.
Okay, when you somebody comes up there and you've got stuff laid out, you've been, okay. And then all of a sudden somebody comes and looking at it and you say, no, that's not for sale. And offline.
No, I've
You
never
haven't?
done that. I'm like, take
No.
the whole table, 50 cents. Take the whole table.
Does the table come with this? I mean,
Yes.
I did one a couple times, and that was one of the questions. Does this table come with that? Yes, ma'am. $200. I'll go buy me another one at Sam's.
My granddaughter decided that she was coming to grandma's and we were going to have a yard sale.
Oh yeah.
So she bought all the stuff, and I said, well, I've got stuff I'll throw out there too.
Uh-huh.
We put tables out. We're bad at it. We had one person stop by. We're like, let's pack up. We're done.
You didn't advertise too well, did you?
No, we didn't.
You're supposed to put it on one of those
Yeah, I
pages,
know,
and then
we're
you're supposed
supposed
to run
to.
up and down all the streets and put big.
Come on, you should have made signs. No, it's your yard sale. You make signs.
Wham, wham. Well, you're there to help. You're supposed to lead. You're the grandma.
Well, she sold a couple pairs of socks, and it was
Were they matching pairs of socks?
yes, they
Well,
were.
that's good.
So I'm like, okay, we're done.
Oh, Lord have mercy, mercy, mercy. We got Chris calling in today, right?
8:00.
Good, because I got a question for him.
He said he's got a lot to talk about.
Well, I got one question he got to answer. But
Uh-oh.
Lee can answer it.
No.
You haven't been out watching the tight ends during their spring
They're
training?
done. Last week was
There she goes.
Caught her. You busted her out so bad. That was so easy.
Speaking of Cardinals, we've been
The
advertising
Redbirds.
constantly
Mhm.
every week about Weather Radio Wednesday. One of our Cardinal families came in yesterday and got a radio.
Is that right?
Yes. It
Good.
was great to see them.
Good.
Yeah. So
Yeah, they ought to put one up there in the stands, up, in the
No.
booth up there, just in case something happens.
that alarm go off,
Because-
it'll panic everybody.
Well, yeah.
Well,
We could patch it into the PA system so we could.
yeah, because
That would be cool.
This is just a test.
one strike of lightning.
It's
One
gone.
bullet.
The game's over.
Well, actually,
Well,
Red flag.
Eventually, so they clear the stadiums
Right.
Yep.
and send you to your cars for 30 minutes.
I did that.
Remember it? Yeah.
We did that
White
right
Oak.
at White Oak.
Yeah.
We did.
We were there for over an hour sitting
We
in the
were
car.
all the way up in the media booth.
Oh, yeah.
And we thought we were safe. We were being sneaky. We were just kind of like,
We
they go,
did.
nope, out. And we were like, oh,
Yeah,
Really?
I came out there and
Yes.
threw us out.
North
yes.
side, they let me stay up there.
Oh, they
But
cleared it out at White Oak. Everybody had to leave.
It was like it lightning. 30 minutes went by. Everybody came back in. Lightning again, and it went on for like
Oh,
3
wow.
hours when they finally said that's the ball game.
Yeah. Well, had we even gotten started yet? Or I don't believe they had kicked off.
No, they had.
That's right. They
I
had to
don't-
play that whole, it was like
Well,
10:30,
no.
11 o'clock when we got out of there. That
Yeah,
night.
it was. It was a delay starting.
Mhm.
And then I think once it started, we had some more rain.
It was just raining.
And I think they halted. No, it was lightning
Did we
because
have-
that's why they made us get out of the booth.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I think if you're inside, you should be fine.
Oh, no,
Well-
not when you're up there.
No.
That's,
Well, what about a 2-story house, 3-story house? You supposed to leave the top floor?
I would.
Okay.
I don't go hiding in the attic when it happens. No.
Interesting.
All right. Say this again. I don't understand. There are lots of things I don't understand. I don't understand why Lee has problems loaning her skirts out to her best friends. I don't get it. But I don't understand boys pretending to be men. Only thing I can come up with, they can't compete with real men in the pursuit of female friends or more. In other words, the way I've explained it, they need an L tattooed on their foreheads because they must certainly be losers. Innocent until proven guilty is Francisco Torres Fernandez. He's charged with 2 counts of statutory rape of a child, 2 different children. The 2 victims in the case are each 13 years of age, half the age of the 26-year-old defendant. The assaults of these 2 children occurred on the 14th of May, a couple of weeks ago, and Fernandez was arrested yesterday. He's in the Pitt County Jail without benefit of bond pending a court hearing. Why? That's what, 2 this week?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
41 year, 43, whatever it was, and an under age 15. And please, Chris, you're a lot closer to 26 than I am. But I mean, you can probably remember back at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything about a 13-year-old that was attractive to you when you were 26 years of age?
Nope, not a thing.
What's wrong with people that look? There's something psychologically going on. Now, I don't know this guy's guilty. Somebody's guilty. May or may not be this guy, but they've got him in jail, so they have the presumption of innocence, of course, until the trial. But what? Somebody did it. What's wrong with them?
My first thought, without even seeing a picture of them,
Right.
is they could not acquire a woman their own age or close to their own age because of their looks.
He's not like that. That's saw his picture.
Okay.
I mean, he looks just like most of the normal looking. I mean, he's not a GQ guy or anything like that, but
Their upbringing, there was no Bible in the house when they were children. Terrible parenting.
Daddy
and
didn't beat the
just
crap
goes
out of
from
him
there.
every now and then.
Exactly.
Here's my bingo. I knew I would get a bingo on that one.
You go.
Exactly.
I've talked to a lot of people here lately about parenting,
Or
lack
lack
of
yes.
in these days. At some point, maybe we'll get to talk about this latest fad of teenage takeovers.
Oh, we're going to do that.
Yes.
It's become more and more apparent that parents nowadays are becoming more and more want to be their friends instead of the good old fashioned. You do something wrong, you're going to pay for it. First, you're going to pay me as the parent. If that don't scare the crap out of you, a trip to the Onslow County Sheriff's Office facility would do it.
Take them on a tour. Let them see what it's like. It's kind of scary now.
No, it's not.
It's scary enough for me. I don't ever want to be in there.
Not to these thugs today. They think it's cool.
Yeah, it's like a
They
hotel
really
for
don't.
them.
They don't know what happens. They have not a clue. You go in, you think you're a man, you're going to come out.
You are.
You're going to come out.
They showed last night Pender County Correctional
I've
Facility.
got it right here.
Okay, I didn't know.
I have it right here.
I didn't even know.
Do you want to give it?
No, you go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, let's hear about it.
The North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, known as the SBI, they have charged Rannie Lee Boney, 48. She's a female.
Oh,
I hope, with one felony count each for obtaining property by false pretense, embezzlement by a public official, and uttering a forged instrument. She's accused of embezzling approximately $35,000 belonging to the North Carolina Department of Adult Correction,
you
according to
got
her
to
arrest
not
warrant.
be real smart to do
Yeah.
that.
She's under a $20,000 unsecured bond, and her first appearance is this morning. Yeah. There were allegations of impropriety by another staff member. So that's all that they've given so far on that story. I was right there with you, Chris. But how do you steal $35,000 from Department of Corrections?
They've got too much money floating that's not accounted for.
Exactly. Are you writing?
Somebody in charge is not doing their job.
They need to take away all the company cards. You know, you don't get a company card. If you need something, put in a request for it, fill out the forms, and it'll be reviewed.
Copies.
Yeah. I mean,
Don't send it to a committee. It'll be stalling committee. Do it like they do at the State House.
right.
Nothing gets through.
Right.
That is just like a blasted choke.
Well,
On that
I'm
one.
glad, Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was agreeing with him. Go ahead.
First off, 910-333-0139. You're obviously listening and watching, so give us a call and we'll talk. But Rayford brought up a great thing because driving over here this morning, I was hearing about these House bills that are being discussed. And
The chambers, the House chambers is one thing, but the House committee chambers,
yeah,
they got beds in there. All they do is go in there and nap because they
That's
certainly
what
don't
I
do
hear.
any work.
Well, Chris, I talked to Senator Lazar the other night, and I said, "Where does this bill stand, and where does that bill stand?"
Stuck
He
in the
said,
house.
"In the House." And I'm like, when will it come out of the House? Because that's the problem. I don't know why it is. He's
It's
coming
the
on
US
very
House, it's the
soon.
U.S. House too. The U.S. House does exactly
Oh, yeah.
the same thing.
yeah.
Senators get paid more, evidently. I don't know.
Well, there were
I know
fewer of
North
them.
Carolina,
Easier to get rid of.
it goes into the Senate and boom, it's right out.
Yeah.
And then they send it to the House. And so we're still waiting on the property assessment. We're still waiting on the budget. I think it went into the House, and aren't they trying to amend some of the things on the budget? I don't think it's fully
And
passed
then we
yet.
have this local situation here with the city,
And then we have
the
a local
wards,
situation here with the wards
which is
versus
really-
at large.
which is actually really close.
There's a lot of HOA stuff right now that's in there. HOA. The state's trying to set some rules for HOAs because they have
Blow them up.
homeowners associations. And Frank Rochelle was sending us some messages the other day, and I told him I'd look it up. But I did talk to the senator. I said, "We need you to come on because I don't know where to go with it."
They run like somebody is given a little bit of power by a small group of people,
Right.
and they're the videos that are from neighborhoods,
Right.
and the one lady happened to be a cop. The wife happened to be a cop, and they started coming on with all sorts of stuff, and then they went ahead and then towed a car. Well, guess what kind of car they towed?
Probably undercover.
It was
enforcement.
issued the car.
Miss
Do you
Officer
understand-
Smallwood.
Do you understand what larceny is? Auto larceny? And yes, and all she did was file a report. Dang, my car's been stolen.
Wow.
Whoops. Everybody gets a problem then.
I just don't understand, and I'm going to give some a good example. I won't name the neighborhood. However, they're very strict in parking cars in the street. You
Yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah.
So I proposed this question to that HOA. You have a New Year's Eve party. You don't want to let someone leave drinking and driving.
Mhm.
So you let them park their car in the street, and the next morning it's towed away. You can't park in the grass.
That's in that bill right now. I think it's House Bill 444 or SB 444. And there's discussion in that bill about parking and parking on the street, et cetera, et cetera. So he's right on it.
You know
He's
how
right
your
on it.
former industry came into being, came into such power? The cable industry,
Mhm.
HOAs, no outside antennas, no dish antennas, no satellite dishes, nothing like that. So you were forced to either use rabbit ears inside your home, unless they could see through the window and see that you got rabbit ears. They would say those are antennas and you can't have them. Ham radio guys have taken them to court time and again and again. And so far they've been winning
They should.
because this
Okay, here we go.
amateur radio is licensed by the federal guys, the
Right.
Federal Communications Commission. And they're not just receiving stuff, they're transmitting, and they're also there for emergency use. That's what it was originally designed for. It was for emergency operations. You guess what? You could be charged with interfering.
I won't mention it since you mentioned the word that started with the C.
What? I didn't do
Well,
that
it's
word.
not that where you receive your television.
The cable.
Okay. Franchise fees. Franchise fees are paid. You remember this
Yes.
Yes.
to municipalities
Don't start me on that again.
to carry. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, because you're charged that in your cable bill.
Mhm.
Okay. However, now the local networks will allow you to download a free app to watch their news.
Yeah, and I have some of those.
On your
but-
cable, on your
Yeah.
computer, you mean?
Mhm.
Or on your TV?
On your
Yes.
computer.
Yep, got that.
You can watch TV 12.
Yes.
You can watch TV WECT Channel 6. You know, I have that. I mean, it pops up.
So you are paying, but if you have cable,
Right.
you're paying for broadcast fees that you can now watch free.
Yep.
On a computer, on your phone, laptop, whatever. But you still have to pay those fees
If you
if
have
you have
cable.
cable.
Now, if you have cable and it's only providing you internet and or telephone, and you don't have a TV type of
Right.
channel switcher thing, they don't charge you those fees, do they?
No.
Well, I would tell you that,
They
like,
just go up on the rates when you cancel everything else. If you want internet and TV, internet and telephone,
yeah, your
which is get rid of a half.
major news outlets like Fox News, if you want to watch that, like laptop or whatever, you have to sign in using your cable provider. But the local stations now, you don't have to.
Or you can just go outside, and like I've got out there, hang them against the wall when I get ready to put it up at any time.
Right.
An antenna it doesn't even
I
have to
have
be
an
tall anymore.
I have one. I have an HD TV antenna on the outside.
It's they call them HD.
I have
They-
over 35 channels.
I understand that, but they're
So it's
they
good.
are meant for the frequency bands spectrum. The TV industry got cute and called it HD.
All I know is that I can get 35 channels and they're all mostly local and never had an issue with it. Works well. So if
Yep,
the
absolutely.
internet goes out,
Now, cable is great, it's convenient to have and everything else, but imagine all of that stuff coming down to your house in a little thing about that big around little cable. It's compressed. If you ever have an antenna and you want to watch, do a comparison, if you've got an AV switcher, you can switch between cable and antenna.
Yeah.
And
Right.
if you got a nice TV and where you can look at the quality
See?
difference, it's like, holy crap.
I just logged in and didn't ask me for anything.
But it's the thing is, it's just like if you're using digital pictures, folks. Some of you will understand that digital pictures, and most of you are using it in a JPEG format. That's compressed,
I mean, for these people
so it
listening,
can
don't
be in
understand
small packages.
that. Right.
But for the full image, like I shoot mine or shoot RAW, and the full image may be 30 megs, and the image that you get if you do the JPEG version of it, it's 3 megs.
Yeah. Well, and back in the day, and I'm sure it's still happening, the franchise fee, some of that money comes back to your municipality.
Yes.
Some. of
Yep.
it.
But the fee used to be $7.95 a month.
Yeah, I know.
It's just
They got
aggravating.
the 95 cents.
Everything you have to pay service fees and franchise fees on top of that and taxes. And so you might have a $50 a month package that's going to end up costing you like 90.
Well-
So aggravating.
Well,
Don't,
I'm gonna, on Wassa does the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
You have a
Have you
water
checked your
usage
cell
fee.
phone bill?
oh, yes.
water usage fee, whether you use it or not.
That's right. There's a minimum charge.
Yeah.
For the city water, for the ONWASA, for whatever.
Even if you don't use it.
And if you use half of what the minimum is 1 month, and you go over a little bit the next month, guess what? You're going to be charged for the overage. They're not going to give you credit for the water that you've already paid for. It ought to be on an annual basis and divvy it up, like the power companies. Divided by 12.
Well, I was talking to someone we both know yesterday about her Duke bill, and I'm like, why is Duke so different from Jones Onslow?
They're spelled differently.
It's Duke. That's right. It's Duke.
I think Jones Onzo's member is
Yeah, it's a member
membership.
corporation. Yeah.
Electric Membership Cooperative.
Mhm.
As the weekend approaches, and it's as far as we're concerned, it's even close enough. How much fun a lot of people along the coast of North Carolina have depends on the marine weather. A cold front Cold front will push through the waters late today and stall south of the area with high pressure building in from the north on Friday. The results, offshore out to 20 nautical miles, westerly winds 20 to 25 knots. They'll come down this afternoon 15 to 20, gusts up to 30 knots though, seas 4 to 6 feet. There is a chance of showers and thunderstorms again. Northeasterly winds tomorrow, 10 to 15 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet. Southwesterly winds on Saturday, 5 to 10, seas 3 to 5. There is a chance of showers.
There is a chance every day.
Showers.
Today, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high near 89. West wind 8 to 10 miles per hour, becoming northwest in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 16. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 61. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 84. And Saturday, a chance of afternoon showers with thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a high near 83. And news coming out, I've been hearing this last couple of days, just want to mention it real quick. There is talk of a low pressure system expected to impact North Carolina next week. It's forecast to develop and intensify along the North Carolina coast next week, potentially bringing heavy rain, strong winds, and coastal flooding to the region. That's just talk right
When's
now.
the 1st of June?
That's what the whole thing was about. 1st of June, first day of hurricane season, and they're already talking about a tropical system forming off our coast. Just talk right now, guys. You know.
Yeah, but you're the only one talking about it.
Well, it's been talk on it.
So if it happens, it's going to be your fault.
Chris can do the weather from now on. All right, go ahead with your stuff.
Talk about a cold case. Here's one. A cold case. The remains of a woman who was reported missing back in 1992
Right.
in Boyle County, Kentucky. Those remains have been found. They're waiting for confirmation, but they know. That's not good news for her husband or her mother-in-law.
Uh-oh.
The husband's mama.
Murder.
The sheriff's office is taking the recovered remains to a forensics lab for positive ID and cause of death.
Mm-mm.
Her husband, Anthony Manning, and her mother-in-law, Barbara Manning, were arrested in connection with the case. The preliminary charges include murder, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. They've got stuff they're not telling yet. Anthony was charged with kidnapping at the time of the disappearance and served a total of 1 month out of a 6-month prison sentence. I don't even know what that was. It's Kentucky. This will be a story to follow, and a book has got to be in the offing in this one. I'm just telling you, this is
Law and
how long
crime.
ago was that? 25 and 8 is what, 33 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, my. They're not giving any details yet.
Well, the hooker story's heating up. You know, the selling hookers.
Oh, the sailing hookers?
Yes.
I think I saw some of those at Wrightsville Beach one
His
time.
wife is still missing, Lynette. And for those that don't know, this happened in the Bahamas about 6.5 weeks ago. And she's allegedly fell off the dinghy and he tried to reach her. And it's the story is full of so many holes. But
He threw her some help.
the Coast Guard has
Barbells.
got the boat. They brought it back, and it's now the boat is now parked. If you park a boat at
Docked.
Fort Lauderdale Coast Guard Station, it's got crime scene right at the dock. You park the boat at the dock. Anyway,
You docked the
so now, just yesterday, they went and took DNA samples off of Lynette's daughter, mother, and father. Even though they know they weren't there at the time, but they took DNA samples, and word is the Coast Guard is now thinking there's a area out in the water where they may find Lynette, and missing off the sailboat was one of his anchors and some dive equipment, weights, so things are starting. He did it. I'm telling you, Rayford, he did it. He killed her.
The mentioned also the GPS didn't
Yes.
match what he had said. Then he said, I'm going to stay. I'm going to keep looking for it.
And he left the next.
Then he left to take care of his mother.
Well, he left, but he left the sailboat. He didn't go out on the searches. And he had a drone. He could have helped. And he had a $33,000 infrared camera that he could have helped with the search that night, the next day. But he didn't. And so then he was detained for 72 hours. But as soon as he got out, he flew back to the United States and then hired someone to bring his boat back. But the Coast Guard said, it's ours now, and surrounded it and took it. But
He made a couple of mistakes.
Oh, he's made. Well, another thing is, too, he has two watches, and one of them is like the dive watch, and it has the GPS on it, and you can put it in where you want to go, and your watch will tell you where to go, stuff like that. They say divers use it, so you should know.
You can't use them underwater.
But this one does go underwater too.
Not
Yeah,
for GPS. It does not receive signals.
no, I don't
underwater.
mean for GPS,
Okay.
but above water you can put in your path and your projection and all that kind of stuff, and it tells you.
It's like this
It
one.
maps out, and then you can download it to your computer.
Yes.
But there was a thing with the fact that he was first seen wearing that watch on video early that evening. But yet, somehow he changed watches.
Well, he's got a dress-up watch too.
Well, no, there's a lot of
Rolex.
inconsistencies in his story as far as like she was wearing in the last picture that was taken an hour or two before the mishap. She was wearing her watch, which is a smartwatch. Guess where they found the watch? On the sailboat, which supposedly they had never been back to. Because she fell off the dinghy in calm water.
Well, maybe she didn't wear her watch. Maybe it was a nice watch and she didn't wear it in the dinghy going to shore.
Well, why didn't she put it in her dry bag then?
I don't know. I mean, I don't even carry a dry bag when I go to
And
shore.
they have a witness now that said they heard a large splash around 9:30 that night in the vicinity of the sailboat, and they've got video where there's like a flare going off at the sailboat, but yet allegedly he never went back to the sailboat because he got the rough water, which is in a bay, calm waters, supposedly got rough, and he lost an oar. He only had one oar, and when he tried to go towards her, where she was flailing in the water, like, come get me, the water current was pushing the dinghy away. I'm telling you, he's guilty. He killed her.
You don't even know that she's dead.
Well, a lot of people saying, well, she could have washed up on an island living her best life. That's
right. No, it could have been a plot between the two of them.
There's a lot of domestic abuse.
Then she's going to have disappeared.
Yeah.
And then, boat picked her up and whatever. And arrangements made in advance. And she's gone somewhere of the
That's a
location.
Hallmark movie.
And then she's out there and she's waiting for him to come get her once he collects the insurance money.
We're on the Long Crime Channel. That's a Hallmark movie. I'm telling you, he killed her. He got mad, and because he's abused her before. There's been episodes
Police reports.
and yes, there's been abuse
Was he
recorded
arrested?
and documented way back. I don't know all the specifics. I cannot give you the correct details, but yes,
So
there's
who's
been.
the other woman?
There is no other woman so far. So far. Redford, they've been on a sailboat for a couple years. And where are you going to stash another woman at?
At different ports of call.
But she's with him all the time, the wife. Looking at him, and let's just watch it. Women have to be crazy. That's all I say. But yeah, I'm telling you,
Not to
right
make
now,
fun of any abuse, but let me explain something, folks. You need to, if there is abuse in the family, whether it's male or female
That's right.
victims, either one, children, and I'm going to add one more, pets. When you find
Don't go there.
Yeah, I
Don't
am.
go there.
When
No.
you find scumbags abusing pets, when you find them abusing their spouse, whether it's
Right.
male or female, or their children, you have a responsibility. Because otherwise, one day you're going to say,
Absolutely.
I knew this was going to happen one day. Well, guess what? You could have stopped. You could have stopped it.
Well, luckily, Lynette, she's got pictures and recordings of her abuses that she put into the right hands in the past. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious that there was some issues there in the marriage, and she was planning on leaving him too, is what the daughter says. But they'd been drinking, of course,
Yeah.
and both of them had been drinking. So,
What had been drinking? A couple of glasses of wine, or
no, they were at the bar right there
so
on
she
the
could have
island.
fallen
you know.
overboard on the way back to the boat in this rough water.
In the rough water that was not rough. It was calm. He's trying to say there was big waves and the wind was, and they've got proof now of the weather conditions. So it's all coming together. You're guilty, TikTok, you're going to jail. I'm telling you now. TikTok,
So much for that jury.
TikTok,
You won't be on it.
TikTok. No, because I'm going to wear my USPS shirt with the bullet holes in it for jury when they go to pick the jury. I'm like, Anyway, I got some good news for you for anybody traveling south towards Wilmington. They have a new section of the bypass around Hampstead open now, starting today.
Just on the north side of Hampstead, you can get off of
Yes.
that route and zip right on down there. Now,
Now, if you're going north from Hampstead to Jacksonville, the old section is still open. You're not going to go on the new bypass, but beginning.
They're still working on.
Yeah.
Paving.
Beginning the evening of May 28th, which is today, as I have learned this morning, both southbound lanes of US 17 near Leeward Lane will be directed onto the new roadway before connecting back to 17 near Vista Lane to continue through Hampstead.
Here's what they're doing. They supply. They're going to get you down south, get all of us down south, and then they're going to keep us there for a few days until they can, make sure you buy everything that's at any shop in Hampstead, right?
Guess so.
Everybody gonna be
There's
eating.
some nice places
Everybody
in
gonna be eating
Hampstead.
at the Sawmill Restaurant, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you know, now they have another section that will open in 2027, but this won't be completed
They're
until
gonna-
2030.
They're gonna wait for the new section to open up before they let
Take
so
a
let's
guess
do
how
that.
much this is costing.
$142 per square inch.
$490 million. You better cut about 15 minutes in congestion off the trip.
Oh,
But no, that's great. I mean, we're making progress. 2030, that's about right. That's about what it took, 10 years like Piney Green Road did?
Well,
10 years?
making progress, but remember what happened to Maysville and Pollettsville when
Yes.
that bypass.
Well, the one thing about Hampstead, though, is such a thriving community. It has grown tremendously over the years. Maysville is still a little small. Maysville,
because of the
Pollettsville.
bypass.
Yeah.
But it would have been anyway.
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
anyway. So I don't see a lot of growth there, but a lot of people love living
I don't
there.
think Maysville ever did grow
No.
before.
One
I
stop
think,
light.
it's got one. When did they put that one up?
Oh, it's been there for years. That one right there at Hardee's
Well, don't
On
forget they got the
17.
Piggly Wiggly there.
and Piggly Wiggly.
And
right?
by the way, the store that used to be the Piggly Wiggly here out on
258,
Rich Lands Highway,
Which lands?
Uh,
that one. Yeah.
that Piggly Wiggly, it had all that other bulk stuff on the side of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That when they closed that,
Yeah,
I
they
was like,
moved
what
it.
happened? And then, but they moved it up here on 17 North.
Mhm. Is it still there?
No, I went
No.
to get some stuff the other day. It's been moved. It's now at the Piggly Wiggly store in
Maysville.
Maysville.
Did
Yeah.
you drive to Maysville
I
to
didn't
get?
need to because I already had the stuff I needed. I just was going to stop by there and pick up something else.
Location.
So they now have a reason to go to Maysville in addition to whatever other reason you
Who
wanted.
would know that?
You all do now because I told you. It's also a sign on the door up there. It says
Why don't
it's
you just
only
go to
15 minutes.
Sam's?
You can't get some of this stuff. It's
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they were clearing it when they were clearing it out. They were clearing it out to stop, not have to move so much stuff. 50% off of everything.
up here.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Nobody told me. You should have told me.
I'm sorry. Pans.
Yeah, well, I don't know any
styrofoam, cups, things
That I
you
could
use.
use.
Yeah, it spoke stuff like you would buy, like a restaurant person
sure.
would buy or something.
Well,
like that.
yeah, but see, like Sam's has stopped with the styrofoam cups. They no longer sell them.
Why? Are they not environmental friendly?
No, they're not.
They haven't gone to paper straws, have they? You ever try to drink a drink out of a paper
I
straw?
don't use straws. I don't use sissy sticks. I'm sorry.
Sissy sticks.
That's what I call straws.
I like straws only because when you take a drink and that cold ice hits your teeth, I like
only
a
have
straw.
one occasion that I will use a straw if I have to. Right after I leave the dentist and my gums, my mouth
Oh,
is
yeah.
going to you try to drink,
And that's not even to do that.
put a straw
With a
down,
straw.
suck it way back.
So
Oh my gosh.
910-333-0139. Please join the mayhem. Please join the mayhem.
We have a
need you. We want you.
comment on our YouTube, Too Real for TV. With each elder passing generation below needs to step up in maturity, also manners like. And in other words, they're saying that, our generation now is showing more and more lacking of manners and respect.
Our
I agree.
generation?
The generation now.
Oh, the
Our younger
generation's coming up.
right.
You know what? They said the same thing in 1950s.
Right from
My
real much back.
grandparents did about the generation coming up then.
Mm.
Oh, Elvis Presley, Elvis the Pelvis.
Did
Oh,
you see my Jailhouse Rock picture I
yes,
sent you
I
yesterday?
did. I saw it last night. Yeah.
You didn't see the Jailhouse Rock picture I sent yesterday?
No, I have to open up that phone to do
Because
that.
you never go back.
Wow.
You never go back.
So let me,
I'll show you.
because of your lead in, Rayford, talk about teenage takeovers.
Yes.
Which is getting more hot and heavy and in more cities. And for those that don't know what it is, it's youth gathering in large cities, taking over the city in certain blocks, doing cars spinning around. One teenager's been arrested for running his car into 5 law enforcement officers.
Is that in New York?
That's the way to
Chicago.
that's the way to
Chicago,
get
okay.
shot.
Right.
In Chicago.
Heck yeah.
I'm not going to stereotype, but it is what it is. And they have. There's 2 reasons the explanations have been given. One is they want to socialize. This is their socialization. And 2,
Mob mentality.
yeah, there's nothing for there's no organized things for them to do. So, to the first one, I say, you want to socialize?
Got a place for you.
Yeah,
You're not going to like it.
Well, Chris, were you watching our show Saturday night, Richland County on Patrol Live? Richland County had a call to a place. It was a place that a lot of youth go in, for entertainment, bands and stuff like that. And it broke out in mayhem. And there was probably 200 to 300 young people out in the parking lot. And the police got there. There was a fight. They were trying to get them all to leave and go home. They were so disrespectful to the police officers.
Yep.
And they were just like ignoring them or giving them faces. And the police officers were doing everything. We just get them out and get them home, because you can't really throw tear gas out, you can't really start beating kids and stuff,
Why?
because they're minors. But they worked like 30 minutes trying to clean that parking lot.
Are they acting like they think they want to be old enough to be adults? Is that what they think?
Yeah, I'm right there with
I'm
you,
sorry.
but
No.
Well,
When-
they-
I'm right there with you.
they were taking a lot of the teenagers down physically, and now there's consideration, and it shouldn't even be consideration. It should have just done it, charging the parents with contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
If they're under 18, in most states now, it's under 18. It used to be under 16 here.
Mhm.
But at 16, they were adults in North Carolina until just a few years ago. If they're going to be like that, parents are responsible for them. The parents, I tell you what, it is just like a police officer who takes you into custody. Your parents have custody of you. until
Right.
you're 18. They
Yeah,
have
that's
custody
right,
of you
yeah.
until you're
Yeah.
18. That means they're responsible for
own
you. They're responsible for you. You have to provide for them, but they're also responsible for whatever you do, civilly and in some cases criminally.
I will say this. I don't know if any of the Board of Education are listening, but our daughter was told that our 17-year-old, she very seldom makes it to first quarter or first class.
Oh, okay.
First class. First
Right,
class. Doesn't
right.
make it to first
Gotcha.
class. She's sleeping at home because the parents leave and go to work. And when our daughter asked, "Why are you not calling me and telling me that my daughter?" We don't have to. We are not required to because she can actually quit school when she wants to. We do not
Right.
have to tell you anymore that this 17-year-old.
After 16, that's right.
Yeah.
It's on that report card where it comes when it comes up and it's like 000. If she shows it, but yeah, I can understand that.
You need an Alexa alarm. Because let me tell you what, when that for us to
yes,
do the thing, the stuff
it's
with the kitty
aggravating,
cat,
isn't
oh
it?
my God, that is obnoxious.
I yell, Alexa, stop!
And then the other one goes off because Robbie's kind of scattered around the house. Oh,
Broke my toe one morning because of you
oh,
on the radio. That's and yelling, Alexa, call so and so, and Alexa, my Alexa starts ring ring, and I'm like, no.
I used to have them call the station because Alexa's in the room where the radio is playing.
Yeah.
Hey, Alexa, call 910-333-0139.
I'm like, Alexa, no. But you were bringing back the Washington, D.C. one that I remember happened at Chipotle.
Mm-hmm.
And screaming teens hurled chairs and used a child's high chair as a weapon, forcing the customers to flee.
What?
I mean,
Just go get your beat.
What is?
I'm sorry.
Well, what is sad is I saw this a youth group. They were African American, and the person that organized this group. I don't want to say it was a religious group, but it was an organized group of of teenagers that were going downtown.
mm-hmm.
No, not to cause trouble, but to just go downtown to eat, and visit some other places. They got scared and immediately retreated when they saw this big crowd.
Uh-huh.
And of course, the very first thing when they started interviewing them for the news story is, we're going to be stereotyped into this group.
That's a problem.
And that is the problem.
That is a problem, yeah.
Or, in
Birds of a feather flock together, so you got to be careful who you're flocking with.
in these areas that that Chris is talking about, curfew proposals have been vetoed or criticized by people, saying it's against the rights of the kids. I'm like, what planet do y'all live on?
What rights?
Right, exactly.
You got the right to behave.
Yeah. And they're criticizing the, towns trying to implement a curfew because you figured you do the curfews, you crack down on the illegal gatherings, you increase patrols. What more can you do?
Problem, and let me tell you what the whole problem with that mentality is.
Right.
It takes good police officers who are out there trained to look for bad people,
Yes.
hopefully before they commit the crimes.
Yes.
But unfortunately, it's always after they commit the crimes. You don't. If you've got enough cops out there, they will prevent crimes. Okay, they'll move them to some other location, another jurisdiction, but they will prevent them from their jurisdiction. But if they have to go babysit your freaking little rugrats because you're not capable of doing it, that's the problem.
Well, it's just like Chris says, these kids are taking over. I mean, they're taking over malls, beaches, restaurants.
Streets.
So here's the
Streets,
situation.
yes.
Maybe the cities do like they have done in a couple of cases where people have done stupid things, and there's a fine that's set. They find out how much it costs for these police officers to make all of these arrests, detain all of these people, and you divvy up the cost of that among the parents. Here's what y'all owe each for what it cost us to babysit your rugrats last night. And then you add a fine,
Well,
a punishment fee on top of
right.
that for the
I'm with
courts.
Chris. I'm with Chris. Start charging the parents too.
Yeah, well, that's not a problem. Do it.
Their reasoning just, and I know they're young, they're teenagers. It makes absolutely no sense. You want something to do. There are plenty of youth organizations.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not going to do the crap that you want to do.
Well, no, because it's peaceful.
Yes, that's right. How many teenage clubs have been formed in Jacksonville over the years? More than one.
Oh yeah.
How often did they fail? All the time.
Yeah.
Well, we have some great organizations that have been working in the county, like MENAC.
Yes.
They do a fantastic job working with teens. Remember?
I know. How many can they deal with at a time?
Well, I don't know
That's
the
the
numbers,
problem.
but I understand what you're saying. But they now have moved in to another county, added another county to the list of what they do. But they have been fantastic. We really need to get them in here and talk.
Yeah, we do.
But
They're a great group.
yeah.
Great group.
Great group. I remember when they first started off, and they went into Northside because that was after the stabbing
Mhm.
at Northside, and they went in there, and what a difference! What a difference!
Let's look around the county here weather-wise. What's been going on here with our ham radio friends?
Rain.
No, it wasn't. There was no rain.
There was rain yesterday.
Woo.
Boy.
That's history. Joe down in the borough, 75 degrees this morning, 98% humidity, 29.92 inches of mercury. He had a northwesterly wind about 7 miles an hour. It's getting breezy out there. 0.35 inches of rain. Bladenboro, 75 degrees. James was reporting in this morning and cloudy. Ward over in Cedar Point, 76 degrees, 93% humidity, 29.99 inches of mercury, and it was falling. West-southwesterly winds at 10 to 14 miles per hour, 0.37 inches of rain in his gauge. Richard over there somewhere in Jones County, 73 degrees, 96% humidity, partly cloudy, 29.92 inches of mercury, and winds were from the southwest. He said they weren't too breezy. Ken in Onslow Bay, just down the street here, 74.7 degrees. He gets very specific. He's kind of like an engineer type, 96% humidity, cloudy, 7 to 8 mile per hour winds, just a trace of water. Carol and Dale over in River Bend. Dale reporting in this morning, 75 degrees, 96% humidity, 29.81 inches of mercury. Cloudy, winds right of the south at 2.15 inches of rain. Randy in southwest, 74 degrees, 98% humidity, 29.92 inches of mercury. Cloudy, southwesterly wind at about 2.28 inches of mercury. Steve, he called in this morning. I think he's just checking his radio, but he's lives over in the comments. He got in the last minute, said it was 77 degrees. He was on his way to work. Lee, over in the Woodlands this morning, 74 degrees, 96% humidity, 29.92 inches of mercury, south-southeasterly winds at 2, and you had 0.06 inches of water in your rain gauge. Here, we had nothing measured in the rain gauge. There was some little stuff yesterday. 77 degrees currently is on the rise, 94% humidity, 29.81 inches of mercury. It's been steady pretty much for most of the night. And the winds are moving a little bit, mostly westerly. At right now, 1 mile per hour. We've had them up to 6 miles per hour. Now, coming up for the ham radio guys, tonight, storm night for 2026, just in time. There's going to be a community discussion and roundtable, and it's going to be over in Carteret County. If I could get this thing to pop up so I can read it. Talking about hurricane season and what it's all about. Mm-hmm. And the Corsound Waterfowl Museum and Heritage Center on Harkers Island. If you guys haven't been to Harkers Island over there, to that museum is a waterfowl museum, and it's also known as a Heritage Center. Lots of cool stuff in that place. Yes. It's a beautiful place to be. They're going to be talking about hurricane season, what is available for the folks. And a lot of people, believe it or not, there are folks around this neck of the woods that have never been in a hurricane. They're new. They may have come from, Midwest
for
or
some fun.
wherever.
New York.
You're in for some fun.
Yeah, and it's they've heard all the tales. Now the thing is, let me tell you, we get almost none. Over the decades, you can count on probably one hand the memorable storms.
Mm-hmm.
They all have going to create some issues, mostly water. Sometimes it used to be a lot of it was power, and sometimes that could stay off for 2 or 3 days back in the good old days. But the power companies have hardened up their systems. A lot of the power lines are underground, and they also have power crews. They have an ensemble of power crews available from outlying areas, as they are for other places. And they'll send people in here, and they are throwing up power poles and putting new stuff, and they're getting power back on rapidly these days. But anyway, they're going to talk about it. And you guys might want to join over there tonight. It's going to be at, did I say 7 o'clock? If you need any more information, you can go to the www.coresound.com/storm night. That's what's going on tonight. It is Storm Night. It's a community discussion and roundtable. If you want to get involved, listen up, ask questions, get information. That's what it's all about. And the Carteret County Amateur Radio Club, they're going to be over there in force.
I'll be close by, but I'll be in Beaufort. So
You won't be that close.
close enough. Closer than coming from here.
Well, the thing is, you got to go across over the river and around
Yeah.
the woods and through the wood and under the water.
Been there many
over
a
the
time.
bridges, yeah.
Yep.
Phew.
Yep. I wish I could go to that. I'd like to. But
Good morning to
Have
Jim
another-
and Kathy and Professor Duty.
yes.
Hey,
That's
guys.
my buddy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Call in.
Pastor Jim.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, preacher.
Tom that's my Tom. Leave Tom.
I didn't say Thomas.
You said Tom.
No,
you said,
Professor Duty.
yep. That's my Tom.
Hang down your head, Tom. Tom,
Tom and I, when I
you
get
need to
bored
call. I want to know what you think
or
about
I
this
need to
piece.
vent, I text Tom.
I'm a venting.
So
Tom,
funny.
Tom, give us a call.
So funny.
You're a cop. You always will be. Everybody that's ever worn a badge
He
is going
might
to be
be
a
at
cop
the bus
forever.
stop.
You might be wearing.
Girls should be picked up by now.
This is about the time, though, he usually goes to the bus stop.
Well, if he's listening, he can call, and
Hey,
I'd like to
Tom.
talk to him
Hey,
about
Tom.
these children
Tom.
that are running and want to be adults, and they're acting like juveniles.
Right.
Speaking of calling in juveniles, coming up in just a little while.
Oh yeah, just a couple of minutes or so.
Not that I'm calling Chris that.
I was like,
I am not.
What are you
Well,
saying?
he covers juveniles
Yes, he
in
does.
sports.
He's got a lot to talk
In
about this
sports.
morning, too.
Yeah.
So,
And I got a
Whenever
question
you're
right
ready,
out of the
Chris.
box for him. I'm ready. I'm primed.
okay.
Real justice often takes too long to be served. Do you guys understand that? You believe that, don't you? Sometimes it takes forever and ever and ever. The
Amen.
Supreme Court scheduled to hear a case that involved a rule banning athletes of a sex other than the one they were born as from competing against female athletes. Will be interesting when the docket finally gets it on the schedule. While waiting for a ruling, transgender Becky Pepper Jackson, don't know what Becky Pepper Jackson's name was before. Well, whatever, won a girls' state championship in West by God, Virginia this week before the wheels of justice could get a little WD-40 involved. The state wants to ban him from competing against real females. What happens if the court gets around to it this century sometime? Will its win be nullified by the trophy and the title given to the second fastest person, the real female? I'm having trouble keeping up with the pronouns. Keeping up with the rest of it is a pain. What do y'all think? Should quitters who were born male be allowed to compete against biological females in athletics? We've asked the question before. Now it's going to the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court hasn't gotten around to it yet. And there's another one who has won, is going to have a trophy. Has got a trophy.
So is your question, should a male athlete be able to compete against a female athlete?
In an all-female competition. No. Some volleyball games, I guess, are mixed and whatever's. And bowling, you can have both. Checkers, you can have both. I mean, we had, and in chess, of course, we had what's her name and what's his name, Bobby Fischer and company. That was okay. Those are games of the mind where females can compete equally, if not in most cases superior. But in my opinion, but there are certain sports where a biological male, by nature, by God, are born with capabilities that most, not all, yes, we know a female that can whip all of our butts, right? But that's not generally the case. So we have to make laws, and we have to have rules where you apply to the majority and not just the minority. This is
Papa Dot. This is our famous fabulous sports editor.
I'm sorry.
You ready? Are you ready?
Good Lord, that took a lot of effort this morning.
God, you had to work on that.
You had to work
I
hard.
was practicing last night.
Yeah, hey, Lee, talk about Rayford exaggerating this morning.
What?
Yeah. We just need one little sound effect. You don't need that. I think Mr. Marks does the best job.
I didn't do it. I didn't even try. That was not a me.
That was a me, Chris.
I got a question for you before you get started.
Uh-oh.
What in the world is a cupcake weekend? Apparently, according to the SEC, they're doing away with something they're referring to as a tradition in college football that I had never heard about. No surprise there, except anything bearing the name cupcake would have caught my attention if I'd ever heard of it. I will tell you that. Yeah. So for Papa Top expert, explain it so that even I will know what the SEC is talking about.
All right, so it's the Southeastern Conference. It's the college sports conference that Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, Arkansas. So obviously it's the Southeastern Conference. And so in college football, what tends to happen is the last game of the regular season tends to be rivalry week. So if you're Clemson, if you're South Carolina, you're playing Clemson, rival Clemson in the last game of the regular season. If you're Alabama, you're playing rival Auburn and Mississippi against Mississippi State. So there's different rivalries, and it's the last game of the regular season, and then so there's a lot of excitement and a lot of preparation, and because of that, these teams tend not to want to schedule another tough game the week before. So they try to schedule what they call cupcake teams. Basically, it's a walk in the park and game that they're going to win. It's a non-conference game. Most time against a very, very, very inferior foe, a small school that somebody like Alabama is going to pay Campbell University, for example, $1 million to come and get beat 80-0. So they just don't want their players getting hurt a week before probably one of the biggest games of the season. So again, they pay all that money for these smaller inferior schools and get beat, like I said, 80-0 or something like that. And then they get prepared for the next game. So
why don't you just not play?
Well, you need the games. You need to you need to fill out your schedule for 12 games, because even against these cupcake games, you're still bringing a lot of revenue. for your community. So, yep, money.
It's about the money.
Yep, it's the root of all evil. But a lot of fans don't like it because it doesn't make for good television. It doesn't make for good. People don't want. I mean, people don't want to watch. Somebody like Alabama beat
Troy.
Beat Troy University or something like that. 70-0. I mean, they want to see good games. So, a lot of people kind of been turned off by it, and rightfully so. I don't really like watching those games either. So, they're going to get rid of it and kind of go back to more of a traditional schedule and probably play these teams early in the season, which a lot of them tend to do anyway.
Warm up.
Kind of warm up games, and then. But yeah, it's I saw that story too on Fox News.
I just didn't know what a cupcake. I never heard of it. Cupcake weekend.
Well, the word cupcake is kind of a I don't want to say derogatory, but it's kind of a negative term in sports. To hey, you played a cupcake schedule. That means you didn't play. That means you played a bunch of weak teams, and you're not as good as you think you are. And
you're a wimpy. You're a wimpy opponent.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'll call it what it is.
So, Chris, when it comes, down towards the end of the season, help me with this. So they start looking at your strength, and so they're looking at the teams you play. So if you play a bunch of cupcake teams, when it comes time to putting you into a bowl game, of one of the 100 bowl games that there are, you're going to get a cupcake bowl game.
Yeah,
that nobody's going to care about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Or you're not going to make the college football playoff.
Yeah.
That is a big topic. So, but yeah. So that, I mean, they're trying to discourage teams from playing. These just weak teams and teams that are not that good. And you don't want to build up your schedule and play a bunch of bunch of undefeated teams all season long. You're just going to take a beating, but you want to challenge yourself. And I tell the same thing about to the area high school coaches. We have coaches who schedule really tough teams, and they may get a loss or two here and there, and but they get really prepared for the playoffs. And then we have other coaches that schedule not so good teams, and then they may have a gaudy record, but they get in the playoffs, and then they don't do so well. And I'm like, well, coach, if you would have scheduled some harder teams, you might have been a little bit better prepared.
Well, in high school, if they all 9-1 season is pretty good, but if they're all junior varsity teams that you're playing, duh.
Well, yeah, and you see it all the time. I mean, especially here in Osceola County with soccer, all these good soccer teams that we have tend to kind of defeat each other and challenge each other throughout the season. So you may have somebody with 4, 5, 6 losses playing a team outside of Osceola County with maybe just 1 or 2 losses, and our local teams, our county teams will defeat them pretty big because they're actually a better team.
Okay. All right, now you can go ahead with your real stuff. I was just curious.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to help answer your question. I'm sure you saw that on Fox News this morning.
I read it somewhere, and it was on one of the multitude of channels or stations or organizations that I look at. God, I look at way too many. It just drives me crazy, especially when they have conflicting information.
Yeah, I hear you. So, but yeah, we are going to have a very busy Friday afternoon, evening. We have the Jacksonville high school girls soccer team playing in their 6A state championship game.
They're good.
Friday at 4:30 in Durham. And then following that game, we have the Dixon high school girls soccer team playing in their 5A state championship game, also in Durham. So it's going to be a back-to-back game, and Rongo County is well represented in the soccer state championship games, and they're going to be tough games. I mean, state championship games should be tough, and Jacksonville's playing Charlotte Catholic, which is a state power. They've won multiple state championships in the past, and Dixon is playing Hickory High School in their state final. But both the Cardinals and Bulldogs are going to represent Osceola County well and win, lose, or draw, and they're going to do well.
Good. Yeah. Well,
very good.
Counting on them. Let's bring it on.
Yep. So I went by both practices before went by practice before practice to Dixon, and got some team photo and talked to all the starters and got their photo taken, and just kind of get a different perspective. And you never want to leave anybody out. So instead of just talking to the one or two star players, hey, just grab a couple comments from each of the 11, 12 starters on the team, and kind of run a little. This is what the Bulldogs have to say. So I'm going to be working on that later on today, and then I went by Jacksonville soccer practice and did the same thing. So you want to treat both teams equally and give both teams the you don't want to treat one different than the other. You want to treat them both equally. But I did ask one of the coaches. I said, look, I know this can kind of be a pain in what.
But because
you're trying to prepare, you only have 2 days to prepare for a state championship game, and the coach was like, yeah, I mean, it is, but we enjoy it. We enjoy the process. We enjoy because we never know if we're going to get back in the state championship game. So we enjoy, and the kids enjoy the being interviewed and have their picture taken. So I mean that's what it's about. I mean these are still high school kids. Many of these kids may never experience something like this ever again, and the coaches definitely appreciated having their teams. If they had to readjust practice for a few minutes here and there so their kids can get interviewed, they were okay with it.
Okay. How long you been doing this sports thing? Writing and all that sort of good stuff.
Oh Lord, I think full time since 2003.
Mm-hmm. Now,
and then worked 2 or 3 years with the paper doing as being a stringer or a freelancer, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
We always called it stringer, and of course, Rayford, you explained to us a couple of years ago with the string and everything. But you're typing up bowling scores and getting the phone calls of coaches reporting their results, and just kind of doing not necessarily the busy work, but a lot doing the easy things that you had to work yourself up. They weren't fun, but you had to work yourself up and earn that trust. And I started doing that when I was still a senior in high school. So
that's cool. That's a good start.
Did that for a couple of years, and then kind of got the full-time gig for a few years later.
Now, how does it compare today when you're 99.98% digital? As opposed to some getting ink on your fingers. How does it compare today to the days of yesteryear where everything was print? You were there before there was any digital impact. I'm sure there was some there. Everybody had a little bit, and we all got into it. Some of us got into it screaming and hollering. But what did you? What is the biggest difference today?
Well, number one, on a personal level, I think the work schedule. I remember when we would come into work 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then our deadline was 12 o'clock, 12:30 sometimes, and you wouldn't get off work till again 12:30, 1 o'clock, and if it was a high school football Friday night, it was probably 2 o'clock. So and then of course we had 4 people in the sports section, 20-some years ago, 4 people. Now we did our own pagination, and Rayford, you know what that is. We did our own pagination.
Yep.
So we had to do put the pages together as well. So that made things a little bit difficult as well. But now, I mean, it's just with being a one-person show. I mean, that's kind of we went from 4 to 3 to 2, and then 1. And so sooner or later it'll probably be 0. No.
If you ever do away with local, there is no existence for a local paper. None.
Yeah, and I tell people that I do miss those days. And if you have people out there that well, I mean, I just miss look at the box scores in the paper, the baseball box scores, and things like that. And I miss looking at the paper on a Saturday morning and seeing high school football results. Or
so do I.
If a team won a state championship on a Saturday, looking at the paper on a Sunday and looking at the photo page and the 2 or 3 different stories and things like that. I miss that. But with with society, society changed, and reading habits changed, and behaviors changed, and everything went digital. So
Yeah.
you had time back in the day to go cover a state championship game in Raleigh or Durham,
That was a big
and
deal.
drive back, and still have enough, depending on what time the game was, obviously. But you had time to come back, eat something, and then work on your stories, because you had a 12 o'clock deadline. But now you after the Jacksonville game tomorrow, while Jason's playing, I'm gonna have to produce a story on Jacksonville while Dixon's playing, because that's what people expect. So,
Yep.
so that's in a lot of ways it's easier. I'm digital first, and that's just, I've been like that for several years now. It's just that's where the kids read it. That's where most parents in high school kids now are in their late 40s, 50s. So they're a little bit more tech savvy than the older generation. So they know about social media. They know about Facebook, and they prefer to read. They prefer to read stories on their phones and their computers. And so that's just to me, I think the digital is just easier to. It makes my life a little bit easier having things on digital, and you can definitely monitor how many people are reading your story. So that also helps when the bosses want to say something about sports. You can go, oh, well, this is how many people read the story.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I'm like, what shows on the screen? Like, if I'm looking at it and I said, oh, they've only had like 7 hits on it. You go into the insights and the back page, and it shows you actually the hits that you've had, the time spent, the location from the people reading.
There's a lot more than this.
There's a lot more than that.
What is public for anybody to see is not what the end result is. Well, you refer to the old people as not being the digital type. I'm counting around here. I'm just counting right here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 computers operating right now. And I got 3, and I'm working on 3 of them at the same time.
Rayford, you're not old. You're youthfully challenged.
I'm what kind of challenge?
You're youthfully challenged.
Youthfully challenged.
I would challenge the youth any day of the week on my terms and my game.
Yeah. Well, you may have to borrow that club from Chris Marks to beat the youth away.
I've got my own. Mine are experienced.
I think he's talking about the 3-wood.
I got a 4-foot wood over there.
I know we're on the list. I know we're on the list in DC.
Well, Rayford, I will say this though.
So.
I do think that the industry kind of did shoot itself in the foot, because by giving everything away for free online, and then you lost a lot of revenue that way.
Yep.
And you didn't think giving away things for free that you were still going to get revenue. So I think what the business should have done 20, 25 years ago was insert those paywalls in a reasonable way early on. I think people would have read things online if the prices were reasonable, but now you got into a habit. Well, I shouldn't have to pay to read stuff online. And I did get in a little conversation with a high school football coach several years ago. He was complaining, "Oh, I shouldn't have to pay $1 a month or whatever it is." And high school football coaches love chewing tobacco. And I gave him the business. And I said, "Well, coach, if you can afford that $5 or $6 thing of Skull or Red Man every day, you can definitely afford to pay $2 for an online subscription to the newspaper every month."
And then he spit on your shoes, right?
Now he's spitting that disgusting Gatorade bottle.
Oh, wow.
I miss having the physical newspaper. I miss that so much.
In TV, I had newspapers, and you know what they are, but I had the racks for, I think, 7 different newspapers I subscribed to, and I kept them there. The weeklies and the bi-weeklies that I had, that's 2 per week, they would come out. I had those, and they would be replaced. The local paper, of course, was daily, so it was replaced every morning with a new one. But the others were stayed hooked to that rack, and you couldn't take parts out of them until they were ready to be destroyed, put away for the next day. But the assignment manager and any reporters, they would circle stories in the paper that they wanted to clip out the next day and put in their personal files or in the assignment desk file for future follow-ups. That's the way we used newspapers. It was, it was a source. It was just like talk radio. My reporter used to listen to talk radio religiously because that was the early morning stuff, and they were getting a feel for what the people thought.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if you remember back in the day, in the library.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
In the library, people would go into the library
To read the paper.
newspaper.
read the paper.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Yep, I remember that. So yeah, I do miss those days. Like I said, I'm digital. I'm digital first, but I do miss those days of grabbing a paper and seeing, like I said, the high school football coverage on a Saturday morning, and if you had a team win a state championship, look at the Sunday paper and see what seeing your hard work and everything. So I do miss those, and I do miss those days. So I just think it's local. There is still a need for local news, whatever,
Absolutely.
however platform it is. I think I think local sports there is still a need for local sports coverage.
Absolutely.
People like reading about their kids, and I'm not just saying this because it's my job and my passion, but I think there is. I think you just you have to sell it reasonably, and you have to give people an easy way to access the information. And the trouble that we run into is people who may not be invested in, let's say, local sports coverage as much as others, tend to listen to the vocal minority, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Who may not have kids.
Noisy.
And and then they kind of tend to they go that direction, and then they don't see a need for sports. So that's a little unfortunate, and but I think the numbers kind of speak for themselves.
Well, even like Friday Night Football again, back in the good old days in TV, everybody we had, well, the sports guys, there were two, only two, and they would make arrangements. All the photographers were made available to them. We had 5 photographers, and any reporters that they needed, they would ask who wanted to get it. And of course, they all got overtime for it. But we had people going out all over, everywhere. Every reporter is a photographer as well. And so when we had people going all over, covering multiple games, everybody getting back. That was, of course, before the days of internet transmissions, so to get stuff back in a hurry. So, everybody had to be back by 10 o'clock so they could put it together. And so, therefore, they always had their contacts. What's the final score? Games started in those days at 8 o'clock. Games started at 8.
Oh, yeah. And then,
yeah.
and then it was, and then I will admit, I think it was the media. I think it was the TV people and the newspaper people that started complaining because it was really pushing on deadlines. So they changed it to 7:30. And then about, I want to say, a little more than 10 years ago, they changed it to 7.
Yeah.
And all of us media people were like, yes. Actually, in the Wilmington area, I don't know if they still do that now, but for a year or two after COVID, they actually pushed the games to 6:30.
Yeah.
For more of a safety reasons, because you wanted the kids and people to get home as early as possible on Friday night. So, beggars can't be choosers. I mean, I would love 6:30 high school football starts. I mean, that'd be wonderful, but I don't think that will ever happen.
Yeah, we used to drive to Raleigh or to New Bern or wherever, but particularly to Raleigh. We always, and as luck on the way back, to have dinner. My dad was avid to the football games, and we would all pack up and go, even when I was out of high school. But any Friday night, I'm here. We went to high school for our Cardinal game to wherever it was.
So, like I said, there's still a need. for local sports coverage, parents. It's the thing that's that's kind of hard to explain is that sports has such a niche audience.
It does.
You have Jacksonville girls soccer. Yeah, people in Swansboro may not read that story of the Jacksonville girls soccer team, or people from Southwest may not read the story about Dixon girls soccer, but those people in those communities will read it.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I do try to do is I do try to do stories that are going to be interesting for all groups of people. Those human interest stories that can make people think and things like that. But there are a lot of times you have to just kind of hey, Jacksonville soccer is in the state championship.
Well,
this is you have to kind of give them their recognition that way as well.
Something just hit me. If something would be good for sports, local sports like you've got going on there, is to have like the Fisherman's Post for you guys who follow it ever. They start down and they got, the southern part of the state, the coastal area, about what's going on there. They move up the coast and they got different areas. You can thumb through and get to your area, whatever you have an interest in. But after you do your area, fishermen, and I'm sure other sports people would do the same thing for other sports, will go into every other location to see what they're doing too.
Yeah.
But a nice little, here's Onslow County, here's whatever, yada yada yada, all over.
Well, Chris, do you need any reporting from the Big Rock next week, a week after? I'll go for you.
Well, and to be honest, I mean, and I wasn't going to say anything, but I have kind of cut back on the Big Rock coverage. I mean, last year it didn't help that there was a lot of rain and
yes.
There wasn't really a lot of activity going on last year. But I mean, it has changed. I mean, we used to enjoy going down there, and they had a media guy. Ray, I don't know if you remember Bruce Paul.
Yep.
He was a media director there. He was good for giving you story ideas and
absolutely,
different feature story ideas that were great, but things have kind of taken. Let's just say they're different now.
I was just volunteering if you needed help.
Well, COVID didn't help things, but also it's been it's just kind of gotten very big and very corporate, and kind of more of a going back to the social media stuff. They do do a good job on the social media stuff. So they don't really need the. I remember when they wanted all the TV stations. They wanted all the newspapers to come out.
Yeah.
Bruce Paul, the media guy, would always grab all the the Carteret newspaper, our newspaper, different newspapers, and just and make a collection. And but now everything's just on social media and the videos and things like that.
Yep.
So again, they moved on with the times, and I understand that and respect that. It's just it was a little I think they've just grown substantially where it's not just a little Morehead City tournament anymore. It's
huge.
It's a worldwide tournament.
And
People
it's
come from
hard to
everywhere.
find parking, and it's such a crowd. That's
Take a
why
boat.
you're right, though, Chris. I would rather watch it from my living room than to go down there. I mean, my sister and I used to love going down there, but it's just it's a lot of standing. It's hot. It's walking from a mile away where you parked, and but I love it.
That's when you wore your little skirt, right? Chris, thank you, sir, as always.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Well, Rayford, when are you going to enter a boat in the Big Rock?
There's a place way down south. When it freezes over, I'll let you know.
We'll sign you up next. We'll sign you up for the tournament next week.
You can do that.
We
You
can
pay
do that.
the fee. I will be glad. I'll be happy.
Just follow the catch-23.
He doesn't catch anything.
Chris Marks got the money.
Yeah.
It would be depleted in the one day of that operation. Just the entry fee.
Yeah.
All right, you go. Be good.
All right,
Take care,
have a good one, my
Chris.
friend.
Bye.
Thank
See
you,
you, buddy.
Chris.
After the weather,
Mhm.
I've got to talk about AI, your favorite subject.
Oh, well, I've had a page right up here. Well, please.
Okay. Hey, I knew you were going to turn me off. That's okay. You're going to like this.
Okay. Offshore out to 60 nautical miles today. AI says it's going to be calm, smooth sailing. In real life, it's going to be westerly winds 20 to 25 knots, diminishing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Gusts to 30, seas 4 to 6 footers. Except on AI, they're going to be 6 inches. They won't know the difference. A chance of showers and thunder boomers. Friday, northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 3 to 5. Saturday, southwesterly winds 5 to 10, seas 3 to 5. A chance of showers.
Today, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Partly sunny with a high near 80. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 61. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 84. And Saturday, a chance of afternoon showers with thunderstorms. Mostly cloudy with a high near 83. And if that will be the whole state, I'll be happy because I may have to go to a rodeo Saturday night.
Giddy up all
And
season.
and a couple weeks ago, it was a tractor pull. Now it's a rodeo.
Okay, there's going to be tonight now up in Carteret County there at the Waterfowl Museum on Harker's Island. There's a community discussion and roundtable discussion. It's going to talk about hurricane season. Hurricane season 2026 is predicted to be lighter than normal. I've heard that story before. Well, you never can tell, so they're unpredictable. Okay, the predictable part is you can't guarantee any predictions. Season starts on June 1st, and it ends at the end of November. God, that thing's gotten long. The question that they're posing in general for this whole topic here, are we ready for the next Florence, Isabel, Hazel? Everybody around here remembers Isabel. I mean, remembers Florence.
Izzy.
Most of you remember, many of you remember Isabel. Those of us who've been around for a while remember Hazel. I was only 8 years old, 6 years or so. 8 years old, 6 years old at the time when Hazel came through. But it was a bear. There was water everywhere, and tree limbs are falling. One fell on our house in the middle of the night. It sounded like, grenades going off or something. It was not pretty. We didn't lose have any damage of any consequence, but trees were down everywhere. Roads were impassable. Living around Elizabeth Lake, when that was a lake, it was overflowing. And there were 2 ways in and out, one on each end of the lake, both washed out. They washed out, completely washed away. No way to get off that place.
Yeah.
We were stuck right there. There was no DeWitt Street going out to Gum Branch Road. That was a mess. No
Well, I can
power,
remember-
no nothing.
When was it Florence that did all the flooding? I went to Greenville.
You got stuck.
I got stuck there for like 3 days. We
Yeah.
were on an island in Greenville.
Well, one of them, it wasn't Florence. It was a different storm in the 90s. I think it was 90s. My reporter, morning guy who lived in Wallace, still does, lived in Wallace. Of course, he took I-40. It was closed because fish were in the road.
Yes.
There were fish literally swimming in the road. That road was closed down. They couldn't get anywhere.
And that was not AI. It was really fish in the road.
After 3 days at the station and things were calming down, he still couldn't get back. But a good friend of ours, the airport was open. Picked him up in New Hanover in his small plane and flew him over to Wallace.
Wow.
Only way he could get there.
Wow.
And that pilot, I just had a
How can this
conversation with him just before Christmas. I went to see him.
Mhm.
And that pilot, I'd never heard this one before, but on his way back, there were people on the roof. And he radioed it in, and they sent the National Guard out to get them.
Yes.
The water was up so high.
It was bad. It was bad in so many areas, like Kinston. When you go over that bridge, when you're first crossing over 258 and you go into the city of Kinston, and that first bridge, right, the bridge that you come to, it's at 70 and 258, and there used to be houses down there. Those were completely submerged. It's crazy.
Okay, now
Just real quick.
AI is
Yeah.
fake intelligence.
Yes, it is.
Artificial equals fake.
Yes, it is.
Look it up.
So most people know who is the most recognizable person in the world.
Donald Trump.
Next, even bigger than him,
Elon.
the Pope.
Yes,
The Pope. The Pope.
Sorry, sir.
Oh, that's
I knew where it was going.
yeah. So the Pope has made his comments about AI, and nothing. And it really hit home 2 days ago, and he said, we as people better understand AI and understand it cannot, should not replace human beings.
A world full of Stepford wives,
Thank you.
programmed, period.
I could have Lee call 2 numbers right now, local numbers, and you will get a reply that goes, hello, I am your AI automated system. I am new, so bear with me.
Have you got those numbers handy?
Yes, I do.
Would you please dial one of those numbers?
Sure.
I don't want to pick on this company.
I don't care what company it is. We just want to do it. When you
Yeah, when I called Marine Federal,
Okay.
AI.
okay, go ahead and
Voice.
just dial a number, whatever number he's got. And I just as soon as you
Yeah.
don't say anything, just hang up immediately. As soon as you hang up, I will have it live.
Well, let me try Marine Federal.
They're probably closed.
Okay.
They will be.
If you know the extension you would like to reach, please press 1. For Marine Federal Credit Union's routing number and branch hours, press 1.
That's just a recording. That's not AI.
No, it goes into AI.
To connect with our collections team, press 3. For loan services or to make a loan payment,
It's just
press 4. For assistance with online and mobile banking, press 5. If you need assistance with your debit or credit card,
Yeah, that's not the one. That's not.
Okay.
This
That's
one
not
will.
AI.
This one
It
will.
does. I'm telling you now.
Well, it may eventually get there, but
All that I had to go through over my bank account being hacked.
But-
When I went through all the different things with Marine Federal, it took me to an AI
and
assistant.
everybody's
Right.
doing it.
Rayford,
All
will
right.
we be allowed to speak to this machine?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
thanks for calling the South Jacksonville Lowe's. This call is being recorded for quality and training purposes. Para español, marque 9.
All right.
Hi, I'm Lowe's virtual store assistant. What can I help you with today?
Returns.
I wasn't able to find any orders under the phone number ending in 0139. What's an alternate 10-digit phone number on the order, including area code?
None.
Okay. If there's another phone number that might be on the order, share that 10-digit number including area code. If not, I can connect you with an associate to help locate the order.
So
I know that's supposed to be good technology for companies, and I understand it because they can have a central bank of this computerized stuff,
Mhm.
and that doesn't. I don't know that is at the store. It's programmed for that number. It could be anywhere in the world.
sure.
But I don't know. Likely would not be at that store. How long does it take you to get to an air breathing person?
It took me 7 minutes
That's the problem.
of saying no, yes, no, something else, something else, something else.
And then when you say something wrong,
I'm sorry, I don't understand you. Please try your call again. Goodbye.
it is very frustrating. Is that them calling back?
Steve's been sending me garden pictures.
Hello, this is your artificial intelligence person for the day. I'm here to assist you. What could I do for you? The information associated with your telephone number, it indicates that you have played the harmonica at one time in your life. Is this true?
I
That's
am
why-
new. Please bear with me as I try to work through this.
Good Lord.
Good morning, I guess.
Good morning.
Hey, Steve.
How are you, Steve?
Hey, I'm doing well. I'm out here tiptoeing through the tulips, listening to y'all
Uh-huh.
this morning.
Uh,
How y'all doing?
well,
We're doing good.
sort of
How
on
about
here,
you?
maybe.
Your garden's looking great.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good so far. Did you see the one sad little Charlie Brown's Christmas tree I got going there?
Yes.
But I sent you one pepper plant and a bed of about 14 of them has just decided it don't feel good. But
It died?
no, it's not dead. It's just like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. All the leaves are drooping and it ain't grown in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, well.
It had little bell peppers all over it, but its four sisters not twice as tall as it now.
He's
So
sad.
I don't know what that one's problem is, but
Well,
I like to share my failures with everybody.
the girls beat him down. That's what happened. They outgunned him.
I got you.
But your stuff is way ahead of mine. I got a couple of zucchinis now, and I got some little tiny peppers. But
I got my
mean,
first
really tiny.
squash yesterday. Picked 'em.
I will, but I planted mine later, and I'm already seeding again for replanting soon. It will be in the next month.
Yeah. I'm thinking about that too. What I'm going because the ones I got on the trellises, I'm kind of going to cut them off and just let them the tomatoes ripen out.
In that
Yeah,
one
that's probably
picture that you have built like a trellis and you have, I think it's tomato plants. Is that a real
Yeah.
dog in the picture?
Yeah, that's my dog. She's
Right there.
chocolate lab.
Yes. I couldn't tell if that
But
was a
that's her sitting
statue
beside
or.
those, but that's her sitting there beside the tomato plant, the
Aw.
cherry tomatoes. But they're pushing 9 foot. Right
Phew.
That's some big maters. A meter
Yeah,
tree.
yeah.
Made
Yeah.
a tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cherry tomatoes seem to do real good for me. You know, they're not too hard to grow. So, been having a lot of success with those. It's the bigger tomatoes that are, a little bit of a challenge at times.
Yeah.
But I've got a bunch of them. They just ain't got big yet. They're still little green tomatoes. They're getting bigger, but it's always how big will they get?
I'm still trying to find the right year after year variety that will give me a mater sandwich with one slice of mater, because that's what I like.
That's my goal too.
That-
That's my goal too. Usually the Cherokee purples are pretty big, but
Mhm.
last year they didn't do as well as I'd hoped. And Parks Whoppers improved.
Mm-hmm.
Those I've had success with in the past, but I didn't have success with anything getting that big.
I used to have bigger boy and better boys. Both of those came out, and then the beefsteaks, they came out with those. They were great for a couple of years, and then they became, just another little mater.
Yeah.
As far as I was
Yeah,
concerned, I didn't, I don't put steroids in them or anything. So
Right. Well, that's what kind of spawned me to redo all my raised beds this year,
Uh-huh.
just because just a very poor turnout for last year, and I still had a lot of vegetables out of it. It wasn't a total loss, but it was, nowhere near the success I had enjoyed in the past.
I had last year a 75% loss.
Yeah.
Mine sucked.
Right, and then I have to remember that last year we had an unusually hot spring.
We did.
It got real hot real early, so
Well, I had that, and
that's what prompted me with the shade cloth too.
I also had 5 trees out here that I learned. I don't know what kind they are, but my wife learned that those things, those trees were dropping stuff. They shot up fast. I used to cut them down all the time as little bushes, My wife says, why don't you let them grow? And I had 5 of them. They're now stacked up as firewood out there for next winter because they are apparently, whatever they drop poisons the soil. So I had to replace a lot of the soil this year in these raised beds.
Yeah.
And the beds are looking good. But some of the reason that we're late planting is because I was still replacing soil. So,
Yeah.
and
I watched a little bit about that this year too, where I was saying that there's some plants that actually put out what is like a more or less like a roundup to every other plant that it's
pretty much, yep.
Yeah, it kills the roots to everything else to make room for its own. But I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting, in the plant world. But yeah, I wanted to share that one this morning. That sometimes it's easier to absorb a loss when you've got a bunch of plants, and one kind of goes south.
Yeah.
It makes me feel for people who only have a few on their back porch that they think they just can't grow something, and it might not have nothing to do with them.
Right.
I've even got a neighbor that's got a privacy fence. He's putting a coat of weather sealer on it, and when he puts that weather sealer on, it runs all the bees away from the garden for about 3 days.
My.
And it took me a couple of times to notice what was going on.
He needs to do that in the wintertime.
Well, I mean, he didn't know. Didn't know until seen it in action, and it doesn't affect the nightshades like the tomatoes and the peppers and stuff. Just the cucurbits, like the cucumbers and the watermelons and stuff like that.
Right.
But all that stuff is a factor. A lot of people think they're not good at it. It's just sometimes things don't go your way.
Yeah. All right, sir. You got any plans for the weekend? Playing anywhere?
I am. I'm playing all over Emerald Isle this weekend. I'm at the E Club on Friday, the Pier on Saturday, and then Boatstown Distillery on Sunday.
Okay, the E Club. It used to be that was the Enlisted Man's Club. Is that not the?
It's Emerald Club.
It was the Emerald Club.
E Club, but it's the Emerald.
We used to
Club.
go there way back in the day.
I used to play there way back in the day.
We used to go to E Club a lot.
These guys are old.
Jerry Reed's wife, Terry, and I, we used to go.
We used to have to go to B&B Office Supply to have flyers printed so we could go out, and that was our social media. Was passing out flyers on the beach all day.
Terry was the last wife.
Okay. Well, sir, I appreciate
All right,
it.
guys.
You take care. Thanks for the update.
Y'all have a blessed day.
You too. Bye.
You too. Did you guys catch the latest from the doctor?
Which doctor?
Dr. Jill Biden.
Oh, I heard her talking about she just cringes. Used to cringe every time she saw her old man on TV.
Well, she cringed real bad when they had the first debate because she thought her husband was having a heart attack. And ironic.
But you let him continue to talk.
No, yeah. She said, I was scared. I was just, because I thought he was having a heart attack and he never looked like that before or since. But since she mentioned that, he is now suing the DOJ to withhold the recordings that he had about the documents that he.
Good luck with that.
They're suing to withhold the documents, the tapes from being released.
Why?
Well, because he was old.
Might affect his book sales. That's probably why.
What's his grounds for suing? What's he claiming?
It was confidential information that does not that was deemed by somebody as not important to the country or to the
It doesn't
books.
matter whether it does not matter whether it's important or not.
Yeah,
it matters whether it's public information or not.
Right. There's some company, the Heritage Foundation, I think is.
Okay.
They were the ones that said under the
Privacy Act.
Open
meeting.
But it's public information, and it should be released.
Yeah.
But it's ironic that came out hours after his wife said that she thought he was having a stroke during the first debate. How about he just wasn't prepared for it? He's not a good debater. He wasn't a good debater. And
I hated what the country, so as the one half of the country, the Democrats, put him through.
Mhm.
I really blame them partially, but I really blame his wife. I really accuse his staff and the hierarchy at the DNC who put him in this position. He should never have been put in that position. They used him, they abused him. They should all be charged with senior abuse, every one of them.
Yes. I agree, and that's what the news reporter was saying. Now there's questions of, okay, well, his wife is saying he looked like he was having a stroke, but his handlers, who whatever you want to call them,
Let him go
and continue to do it, and said he was in fine shape to run the country.
If you've got, let's go to your rodeo, okay? If you got a guy, those rodeos are sanctioned events. They've got this a professional group, right? If they let a guy with a broken leg get aboard a bull and ride it, and when he falls off and he gets trampled to death because he can't hold on because he got a broken leg, what's going to happen? Now, that's just a minor thing, not to him, but in Biden's case, it's a major thing for the entire country.
Yes.
And that was just flat unfair. Maybe we all should get together to file suit against all those people.
It could be a class action lawsuit.
Yeah. I could use the money. Maybe they got plenty of it, apparently. It's irritating what they did to him, and I said it the whole time. It's just wrong.
What?
Maybe it's because he and I are pretty close to the same age. Hey, you know what my wife would do if I was in that situation and somebody tried to do that? She'd start popping caps in them. And there's plenty of them up there she's got to pop.
I'm just very embarrassed for Jill Biden. I know she's a doctor of education. Thank you.
I'm sorry, that was a hairball.
Well,
I don't get this doctor of, because you may get a doctorate in whatever education in her case, but you're not a doctor. Okay. Leave the DR for those that earned it. Dr. Rose is a doctor. Dr. Murphy.
Did you know regarding Tom Tillis that, and he said he's friends with Tom Tillis. He and I were talking after the fact.
I knew that.
Did you weren't there when he was talking about when Tillis started choking at an event?
Yes.
Were you there?
He's told that story, yes.
Has he told it before?
I haven't heard it.
And you've heard it?
No, I haven't heard
it. He did the Heimlich maneuver to get him, but Tillis was going down.
Wow.
He's lucky there's a doctor in the room, and that doctor knew right now what to do.
We need a doctor in the house.
We absolutely do. What?
We need a doctor in the house.
Why'd you look at me like that?
The U.S. house.
Oh.
I still have the T-shirt. We need a doctor in the house.
Well, some of the doctors that got in the house don't need to be doctors either. Looks like mainstream Democrats are throwing their noses at Senate candidate Graham Plantner in his bid to beat Republican Senator Susan Collins in Maine. They're turning their backs on him.
What a mess.
Whoa, what a mess. Democrats in the Senate and other Democrats across the country have concerns about Plantner. I wonder why. More of his history making news. His socialist media posts bashing a soldier shot by the Taliban and pleasuring himself in a portable toilet. Give me a break. As Democrats questioning their initial choice, and it's giving Republicans the opportunity to prop up Collins in an effort to keep a majority of the Senate. With North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis' decision not to seek a third term and Trump's never-ending sniping at Tillis, the future of the Republicans' ability to hold on are waning. And Tillis, who has been more than disenfranchised with his party as well as all Democrats, he doesn't like anybody. He's beginning to sound more like me every day. And he's been doing this for quite a while. He fires back at Trump every time. Every time Trump says something about him, he returns fire. Why? I can't blame him because I'm that way too. That's the way I'm built. But if he actually believes the country is in better hands with the Republicans in charge, whether it's Trump or somebody else, he would be better off backing down, backing off, chilling out. If he thinks the Democrats are better at running the country, then make it blatantly known that you're going to support the Democrats. If that's the way you want to do it, this sniping crap back and forth is childish behavior on both parts.
I agree.
Both of them need to have their hands spanked. They need it done with a ruler.
I look at it this way. Tillis is on his way out. His choice.
He's gone. Yeah,
He's
just got
gone.
a few months.
Why do we have to put the garbage on social media? Oh, Trump, why don't you just say, have a nice retirement?
Yeah.
Thank you for what you have done that I agree with. And just let it go. Let it go. I think that last post that he made about Tillis was not necessary.
It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. Trump, do better.
Okay, here's some stuff. This country was in a neutral status under Obama. This is my analysis. It was kind of neutral across the board, right? Nobody hated him. Nobody loved him. I mean, it wasn't that division like we have now or like we had under Biden. Not real bad, not real good as a leader, not real bad either. But as I said before, the president is just barely a figurehead unless he can command the complete respect of his own party and at least get a pass by the opposition party, because you're going to have to rely on them to get anything done. Tillis was doing that. And Tillis got blasted for doing that. He could see the good in both sides. He could see the bad in both sides. We know Biden wasn't there. So we had Obama, then comes along Biden. It's just not, it was a setback for the country. And then comes Trump and the first term before Biden, a virgin in the world of politics, a complete foreigner inside the Beltline. What could have been a refreshing period of time? That could have been very refreshing. He had a wild idea. He closed the borders. That was his idea. Let's close the borders. Let's don't allow any more illegal immigration. We can continue with immigrants coming in the way they're supposed to. In other words, stop allowing illegals into the country. What's wrong with that? Why did people get up in arms about that? Went against the grain of liberals, but I wonder why. If you want to stop people from robbing banks, are you opposed to that?
There'll be somebody.
Are liberals opposed to people robbing banks, Bonnie and Clyde and company?
Probably.
Well, why would you be okay with allowing illegals into the country? The Democrats united to shut him down, launching several futile attempts to remove him from office. That was a distraction. It kept him busy. He couldn't continue working, and it was just picking. It's like a nagging spouse. All they do is nag about this, gripe about that, male or female. The efforts failed. They kept picking at him, though, to harass him and to make him look like a bad person in an effort to make sure this was a plan to stop him from being elected a second time. That's what their plan was. And by hook or crook, they worked. It worked for 4 years. They didn't count on him coming back. They really didn't until after he left. And then he said, I'm going to run again. And then it was on, now we really got to go after him. And they did. Raids, suits, indictments, everything they could just to keep him from ever coming back. So he got beaten by this guy, by an unrecognizable person. His name was recognizable. Only reason they chose him Only reason the Democrats chose him is because he had a recognizable name. He had been the vice president. I mean, he was close to being president. Could have been. But he was Joe Biden. But he got elected. How? Because Trump was in office. And he had all the bad stuff coming out.
A lot of reasons.
A senator from Delaware that I can't for the life of me remember anything that he ever did as a senator. Okay, your turn. Can you name him anything that he did? Anything that he was behind, it was a big deal as a senator. He certainly didn't do anything as vice president.
No.
But because he occupied a Senate seat for years, everyone knew his name. He took on the job and failed miserably. The Democrats could not force him out because next in line was someone they thought in the beginning might prove herself capable. But her approval ratings were worse than Biden's. They could not have her becoming president. But then Biden gets a nomination to run a second term. So they didn't have any choice. And then he quit. And then what do? You diss the one person that says, okay, well, I'm the vice president. I'll run. What do you say? No.
Well, normally that's how it works. The vice president steps up and runs for the next president. But
now Trump's throwing spitballs.
Reasons. Yeah,
he's just throwing spitballs back and forth, just like a fifth grader.
Quiet. Just be quiet.
Shut up and do your job, Liz.
Well, there's a lot of congressmen and senators that are running this year for re-election.
Yeah.
And for the most part, you don't see them out there saying, I'm MAGA, I support Trump,
Nope.
I want Trump's I've got Trump's You don't see them. They're staying away from it. And there are some that have Trump's endorsement publicly, new to the race. Some have won, but I still say run on your own merits. We'll see. There's still a lot of primaries to go through.
Yeah. And then in September, the rubber going to hit the road.
Mm-hmm. There's still a lot of primaries left. California is June 2nd. I can't wait for that one. I do want to see Spencer Pratt beat Karen Bass for mayor. Oh, I want to see that. It's tight. It's tight all over the country right now.
It is. And
it could go either way.
It could. And, well, of course, only the people maybe they won't turn out, like Onslow County didn't turn out. Now, let me tell you one more time. This came up at this event the other evening. People need to get out and vote.
Yes.
Yeah. I was at this fundraiser, it was. I don't contribute to political parties or political individuals. It's just, I can't, and sit here and then bash
You
other
can
people.
if you want.
No, I can't.
But
because
I understand why you
I
don't.
could not bash them. And if I get it here and I start bashing somebody, then they can say, well, you gave him money. If I gave money, I have to give it equally to both sides.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do that either.
I don't.
Well, I do know people who do.
I wait till after the primary, and then if there's someone that I would like to contribute to, I do.
Yeah, well, that's fine. You can do that. I can't because I blast everybody.
Oh, well, so do I.
Not like I do.
Within reason, not like you do, right? Not like you do.
But I would just love to see them come out and show me what's they can do for me. I do like the commercials that Michael Watley's come out with finally.
Yes,
They're airing now. It is.
He's still trailing.
It is still very early, and he's getting a late start. Roy Cooper looked like, but people didn't even know who it was. They haven't paid that much attention to the
There's still plenty of time. I'm just saying,
done it.
He's
Haven't made up their mind.
continuously trailed, but that doesn't mean that.
Well,
He will lose,
he's never
so.
been elected, so nobody knows him.
Yeah, he has been elected.
To what?
He was elected as the North Carolina RNC chair.
By whom?
by the Republicans
There
that
you
were
go.
there voting for him.
Well, he's been selected by the Republicans.
He was voted for. Man, that was a vote too. Man, that was a war the first time.
But anyhow,
And I photobombed.
He has not had the public at large voting for him for anything.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But,
So he's not known. So now he's getting known, and he's covering every county in the state more than once.
mhm.
But I like what he's doing. He's pointing out the things that I've pointed out. Maybe he stole it from me. But Roy Cooper, he was a do-nothing guy. What was it? Somebody was pointing out his speeding tickets or something that he's gotten, that Watley's gotten, traffic tickets that he's gotten over the years. Well, guess what? He's driven one truck 400,000 miles. And over 16 years, that Roy Cooper has been feeding at the public trough, the governor in North Carolina.
Yeah.
As AG for 8 years and as governor for 8 years. Well, how much has he driven? There you go. He's got a highway, but had a highway.
Well,
patrolman
obviously
driving
not
for him.
enough to get the rape kits to the SBI to get those tested. That sat on the shelves for years. I'm sorry.
As
I'm
the
just-
AG,
Yes,
he didn't
I'm
do anything
just-
about that. So anyway, it's going to be a race. It's the Senate race is going to be the race in North Carolina to really have your eyes on.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen now? If Onslow County is a serious county, it's got a lot of pull, especially in the 3rd congressional district. It's the biggest county in the district. What is it? 8 counties now?
9.
9 counties now. We're the biggest. We got more clout. If 11% of us turn out again, we ain't got no clout. We ain't nothing. We're nothing. And that's just not the way Onslow County works. And I'm still saying again, folks, there was a school board race in March. There was a county commission race in March. And 89% of Onslow County voters do not care about their children or about their tax rates because they didn't go choose anybody. They were not part of that process. 89% of this county is lazy,
It's
Yeah,
pitiful.
she'll get on social media and talk junk.
and they have no right.
Nope.
If that shows up that you did not vote in that primary, you do not deserve your social. That's what they ought to do. Cancel them.
Vote, 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 vote.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
anyway,
we need to.
we'll do-
Every election is important.
it is extremely important, regardless of which one it is. It's a show of support or a message, one or the other. So that's what we've got to do. And I don't really care who you vote for because you're not going to know who I vote for.
Yeah.
But I'm going to vote. I've only missed once. I won't do that again either.
Walk around at least one day with the sticker that said I voted.
I put mine on. Well, I've taken them all off now. I used to put them on my cup. So everywhere.
Well, this is to the other 89%.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe. I mean, it's how much money did we spend for just 11% to vote
Too much?
per
Well, that's what I
person?
say.
Per person.
We need to
How much
move.
did that election cost us per person?
We need to move the municipal elections to the even years with the general election and with the presidential election. Save all that money because we don't have a huge turnout for the municipal elections. 14 days of early voting and the day of regular voting. That's a lot of money that's costing the county.
Yep.
Move it. Other cities are doing it. Pink Hill, Lenore, Kinston is pursuing it. There's been other cities in North. What difference look at the money we'll save and you'll have a better turnout. And once they take away the wards and make them all at large, anybody can run. Anybody can run
I hope they do.
You need to.
in the city.
Oh, we're tired, aren't we?
They're getting cranky. I have to go home and
I
get ready.
woke up cranky because I hadn't had enough sleep.
I have to go.
Now I'm going to go get a geezer nap.
Okay.
I got my software device in after trying to download software from this computer so I could put it on another computer.
Mhm.
Right.
I surrendered. I tried every trick everybody said, so I ordered a CD player for $8,
Oh,
including
okay.
shipping.
Yeah.
And I plug it into any computer with a USB port, and I started downloading all the software now.
I have
thinking.
those attachments. I have the CD and the floppy disk drive external. Because there's still some stuff that you have to have.
You got a floppy disk somewhere?
No, I've got a bunch of them. I got a great big old thing of them I used in the camera that I had. I'm gonna bring you that camera. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Better charge it up. Battery might be.
I've got a camera that's older than I am, but I don't.
No, it's pretty
I actually
cool.
use film.
This was one that they came out with. That was a while back, and you just put a floppy disk in it, take all your pictures. They download right to the disk. You take the disk out, you put it in your computer, look at your pictures, or make copies or print or whatever.
Okay.
It was a pretty cool camera.
Did you have the little floppy disk or those
The
big?
5-inch, the regular size, where
The
they
3
4
inches?
3-inch by 2, whatever. The regular size of a regular floppy
the
disk.
regular size were the big ones. Then came out the miniatures. You're live
It
in
used to
local
floppy
real talk
disk.
where we are awake, but not for long, and
Yeah.
but we're never going to be woke. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Bus date.